Buon pomeriggio e bentornati al sussidiario italiano. As promised in the first video that I uploaded, I am back to the sussidiario italiano channel, with a lesson that I'm planning on dividing into two different videos, and the piano della lezione, the lesson plan for this two video lesson is the following. We will talk about habit formation, of course, in relation to studying Italian. And as I announced before, I will use parts of this very interesting book, Atomic Habits by James Clear, from which I will read you some quotations that I found extremely inspiring and useful. And then in the second video, which probably will be the longest of the two, we will go through the Italian alphabet. So we get into Italian, and we will do the Italian alphabet, and with its peculiarities, etc., and its beauty. And then we will see how each letter will teach us words and sentences that are composed by those words, and all those words and sentences will be in Italian. Of course, I will offer a translation, but you will be exposed to the Italian language from now on, and that will increase exponentially in the future videos, in the future lessons. So done with the piano della lezione, which is already 3 Italian words. Let's go to the habit. I say you decide to study Italian, then you should make it a habit to study Italian. I said, well, 3 days a week minimum. That is really the bare minimum. The ideal would be every other day, or even best ideal would be every single day. Take some minutes for yourself, create an habit for yourself. And as the author of the book, James Clear, explains, it is easier to create a new habit by attaching this new habit, to an older and more consolidated habit you already have. For example, you come back from school or you come back from work, and you sit down and you relax, you watch some TV where you learn things, you watch things, you're entertained. Or you scroll on your computer or your phone, or you watch and surf the net. Well, to this habit, you could subtract 3, 5, 10, even 15 minutes. The ideal would be 20, but let's start in a concrete way, like 5 minutes. And you make it a habit to study Italian, to repeat, to shadow pronounce, to memorize, to learn, to repeat, to read for 5 minutes Italian. Words in Italian, small sentences in Italian, and the more we go on, you will increase the number and the length and the strength of those sentences. For example, I wrote down on my study handbooks a quotation that I find it extremely interesting for us, and it's at page 47 of the book, and says, and I quote, "Building habits in the present allows you to do more of what you want in the future." This is an extremely good quote, because it shows you that if you take those 5 minutes, those 10 minutes, and you create and consolidate this habit, then in the future, with this same amount of time, you will be able to do more, because the basis, the foundation will be solid in your mind. So in 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, you will be able to build on and continue learning Italian, and also then acquiring Italian in the second step. So start forming a good habit, and the good habit should be studying Italian every other day, or studying Italian every single day. Another quote from the same book, Atomic Habits, that is, in my opinion, extremely useful to us is, and I quote it, we mentally assign our habits to the locations in which they occur: the home, the office, the gym. Our behavior is not defined by the objects in the environment, but by our relationship to them. And this quotation is at page 87 of my edition. Well, I said before, you come home from the office, you come home from the gym, you come home from school, you sit down on the lazy boy, you sit down on the sofa, you go to bed, and make that the place where your new atomic habit of studying Italian in this case takes place. So every time you go around that place, you see, this is the place where I should be studying Italian. I should be doing some work about Italian or in preparation for the acquisition of the Italian language. So take a time, take a place, and take the habit of exploiting in the best possible way this time and this space. Okay? Another quotation is, the less energy a habit requires, the more likely it is to occur. It is crucial to make your habit so easy that you'll do them even when you don't feel like it. And this is at page 152. Of course, that's my job, to make it pleasurable, to make it not too difficult, not too complicated for you to learn Italian. So that's my part. And I can guarantee you that I've been doing it for 20 years, so I know pretty many ways to make it light, to make it even fun sometimes. Something that is usually hard and perceived as hard as studying grammar or trying to memorize vocabulary, which will not be exactly the way in which we work. And you will see. Another quotation, and is one of the last: habits are easier to build when they fit into the flow of your life. And that's very profound, even if it looks like common sense. This quotation is at page, oh, I didn't write the page. That's very weird. I always write the page, but I didn't write the page for this one. I'm sorry about that. But anyway, if it flows, meaning every day you come home from work, you take your favorite lazy boy, you sit down on it, and you open the sussidiario, you open your phone, you scroll, you come to this channel, and you do something that is pleasurable, something that is fun, something that gives you satisfaction. So that's a good habit in the flow of your busy everyday life. And at page 198, here I have the page, the most effective form of motivation is progress. And this is good because you will see that after the first classes, when you are more proficient in Italian, when words, your passive vocabulary in Italian will start to become active vocabulary of Italian, when you will be able to shadow pronounce things without effort, without so much effort, and you will be able to understand sentences, well, that will feel like very effortless, and you will have active and great pleasure. So you will be encouraged to take more, to go more, to continue, to increase the time you dedicate to your foreign language, in this case to your Italian. Let's see if I have another quote or not before we go into the alphabet and the second video. Let's see. I have one. I have another one, page 231. Human experience peak motivation when working on tasks that are right on the edge of their current abilities. Not too hard, not too easy, just right. Now, this is a good piece of writing, and this is also common sense backed by a lot of relevant research. So the input that you will have, which means my classes, my Italian, will be not super easy, but not impossible. I will never betray you by speaking too fast, by not giving translation, by putting their vocabulary that you are not supposed to know yet, etc. I will put it at the level that it stands a little bit on top of you, So you will be always in the pleasurable tension of understanding. Nothing too easy, never too easy, but never, ever, ever too difficult. Just on the edge of your level. So you will stretch a little bit and you will get it. And the things that you will learn with time will be acquired. They will go into your long-term memory, and that will mean that you will be able to use Italian in every circumstances. So these are a bunch of promises, and I am someone who keeps his promises. I'm sure you're gonna have fun. I'm sure you're gonna learn a lot, and I'm sure this is gonna be a great experience for the both of us. So, coraggio e alla prossima. Bye.